Hello everyone, Miss Meek here, and today we're going to talk about three more measures of central tendency, or two more measures of central tendency, the median and the mode, and we're also going to talk about a measure of variation or a measure of spread called the range. So we are going to talk about the median, the mode, and the range today. Again, all dealing with a data set. So this is giving us information about a set of numbers. First of all, let's start with the median. The median is also known as the middle number. So to find the median, there is literally just a couple steps. Step one is you have to order the numbers least to greatest. So I'm going to do that here with my data set. So step one is to order these numbers least to greatest. So I have 7, 9, 11, 14, 21, 29, and 30. You may have noticed I crossed the numbers out as I wrote them down. I wanted to make sure that I had all the numbers that I was supposed to have in my data set. Okay, after I order them, step two is to begin crossing out the smallest and largest number at the same time. The smallest and largest number at the same time until I have just a middle number left, one number in the middle left. So we're going to start crossing out the smallest and the largest at the same time until a middle number is left. So what this looks like is I'm going to start by crossing off the smallest, 7, and the largest, 30. The next smallest is 9. The next largest is 29. The next smallest is 11. The next largest is 21. And then look right here in the middle, I'm left with one number. This number is going to be my median. So for this problem, my median is going to equal 14. It is the number directly located in the middle of my data. Now, the only way that you can get this number accurately is to order your numbers from least to greatest. They have to be in order. You can't just take your list of numbers and cross them out and hope for the best, okay? You have to order them in order from least to greatest and then start crossing your numbers out one at a time. Now, what happens if you have an even number of data? So again, let's follow our steps. Step one is to order these least to greatest. So 4, 7, 5, 7. Missed that 5 there. This is why I cross numbers out as I go so I can actually pay attention and watch. And then 11. Okay, so next step is to cross out the smallest and the largest at the same time until we're left with one number in the middle. So 4 is gone, 11's gone, 5 is gone, 10 is gone, and then if I cross out 7 and I cross out 8, I will have no number left at all. This reason why I have two numbers left in the middle like this is because there's an even number of numbers in my problem. I have 6 numbers. I have 6 numbers in my data. And so that is why I have 2 numbers left over. When that happens, we do something else. So when I have 2 numbers left over in the middle like this, we find the mean of those numbers. We're going to add them together. And I added 2 numbers together, so that means I'm going to divide this by 2. So again, we're finding the mean. Find the mean / average of the 2 numbers. Okay, so 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. That means that my median is actually a number in between 7 and 8. It's at 7.5. So my median here is 7 5/10. So when you have an even number and you're left with 2 numbers in the middle like that, you have to average them together, which means you add them and then divide by 2 because I added 2 numbers together. That's why I'm dividing by 2. And that is how you find your actual median. It's going to be that number in between 7 and 8 there. Our next thing that we have to talk about is the mode, otherwise known as the most common number. This is another one where you want to order them in order from least to greatest. It just kind of makes it easier to see what's going on. So I'm going to order these in order from least to greatest. And literally the mode is really, really cool. It's one of my favorite measures of central tendency because you just look and you see which number do you see the most. I see 1 5, 2 6s, 1 10, 1 11, and 1 12. So the number that I see the most are these 6s. There's 2 of them. So that means that the mode is 6. It's as simple as that. You just look at the data and see which one do you see the most, which one has the most repetition of that number. All right, for number 2 here, again, I'm going to put these in order from least to greatest. I have 4, 7, 7, 8, another 8, and 11. So looking at this data, what number do I see the most? Well, I see 2 7s and I see 2 8s. Now, you can have more than one mode because these numbers are represented more than the 4 and more than the 11 because those two numbers have only been represented once. I have 2 modes here, 7 and I have the mode of 8. So I have 2 modes, 7 and 8. You can have one mode, you can have more than one mode, and you can even have no mode. So if all of those numbers had been represented evenly and there was not one that was like showing up more than the others, you would actually say that you have no mode at all, like because they're all there the same amount of times. All right, the last measure that we're going to talk about is actually a measure of spread, how spread out your data is, and that is called the range. And it's the difference between the maximum number and the minimum number. So again, it's the difference between your biggest number and your smallest number. So I like to put these in order from least to greatest. It just makes it really easy to do all of the different things that I have to do once I put them in order from least to greatest. I'm interested in 2 numbers, the biggest number and the smallest number. And to find the range, I subtract them. I find the difference between them. So the biggest number, 10. So my largest number here. And I'm going to subtract it with my smallest number. And so my range here is 9. So the range is how spread out your data is. So this data is spread out over 9 spaces. If these numbers were on a number line, they're spread out over 9 spaces on the number line. So it tells you how spread out everything is. The bigger that number is, the bigger your data is spread out. So let's combine all this together. For this set of data, they want you to find the median, the mode, and the range. So again, in order to do that, the best course of action is to start off by putting these numbers in order from least to greatest. So I see a 6, 7, looks like 9. I have a 10. I have another 10. I have an 11. I have another 11. I have a 14, I have a 15, and I have another 15. Okay, so I think I got them all. Okay, first up is median. So to find the median, remember we start off on the ends, crossing out the smallest and the largest at the same time until we get down to one middle number. So 10, 11. Now, I'm left with 2 numbers here in the middle. Remember, to conquer that, we add them together. And then we divide by 2, so we find the average of those 2 numbers. 21 divided by 2 is going to be 10 and a half. So 10 and 5/10 there. So my median is going to be 10 and a half. So I'm over here to the side. I'll make a little list of our answers. Okay, median, mode, and range. Okay, so our median here is 10 and 5/10. Okay. Next up is the mode. Which one do I see the most? I see 2 10s, 2 11s, and 2 15ths. So I actually have 3 modes this time, 10, 11, and 15. My range is going to be the biggest number minus the smallest number, so 15 minus 6. 15 minus 6 is 9, so my range is going to be 9. So there's all of my measures that I need to find for this problem. So again, each one is slightly different, but they all tell you something about your data. The median and the mode tell you, again, some of those central numbers about your data, while the range tells you how spread out your data is. It's a measure of spread. All right, I hope that this cleared up any confusion you had about median, mode, and range. I'll talk to you later. Bye.